Hey guys, it's Matador, and over the next few weeks, I think I'm going to try a different thing with the vlogging series. I'm going to call these gamer confessions. There's a bit of a weird stigma that we all kind of get in our heads. There's something that, you're not a real gamer unless you do this, or you're not a real gamer if you think that X, or if you don't like X game. But there's a lot of people who don't like certain games, and there's a lot of people who have their own reasons for that. So I'm just going to talk about a few of those, so please feel free to respond with your own in the comments below if you agree or if you don't agree. I welcome any other opinions on this. Just try to keep it civil. I would like to just have conversations with people about these. So gamer confession number one, I don't really like Final Fantasy that much. When I was a kid, or when I was younger, I didn't play them much because I sucked at turn-based games, and I don't really know what it was. I just couldn't play them very well. I was really bad at that style of game. I just couldn't quite wrap my head around the strategy of it. I'm better at it now. I can actually play them now. I just kind of find them a little bit boring. So that was why I didn't play them very much before, but I still really enjoyed the art style and the visual style. But now as an adult, I'm a little bit better at that style of game, so I can go back and play a few of them again. And I like certain things about them, but now I have a better grasp of what it is about them that I'm just not that into. I think a big part of it is that even though they're all different, they're all set in wildly different universes and in different timelines, they're all still somehow the same. You can't deny there's a certain amount of sameness to that franchise, considering that they basically start fresh every time. Older entries in the series were ones that I liked a little bit better, like Final Fantasy VI I really enjoyed. 7 I thought was okay. I think it's kind of gotten played out. People are trying to do way too much with that now. It's interesting that they're doing a remake of it, but I don't really know. It just seems like they've had 1,000 different games of Final Fantasy VII. I'm particularly tired of that one. I think a big part of it is the storytelling style, and there's something about it, the way those stories are told. It comes down to everything. The dialogue style, the way that the story is presented, it just all seems really dry to me. For stories that are so sweeping and dramatic and set in these huge, massive fantasy universes, it just all seems like it comes down to the same tropes and the same things that happen in the stories. And I think this is probably just a difference in Eastern and Western storytelling, but to me it all seems very poorly explained. In Final Fantasy VII, everything that happened was the live stream, and that was very vaguely explained. It's kind of explained what it is, but it's never explained how it is. People just kind of know it is. A lot of that carried over into the Kingdom Hearts games, which that's going to be a totally separate gamer confessions thing in and of itself, but a lot of those games have the same problems with the way they explain the backstory and the way they explain the lore. They're over-explained, but it's also vague at the same time. I can't find a really good way to put my finger on everything that's wrong with that, but it's like they spend paragraph after paragraph after paragraph going into exhaustive detail of what's going on. It's almost like they don't trust you to be able to put the story together by yourself. It's like they don't trust you to be able to read the context clues of the story. The games are incredibly bad at show, don't tell, which to me at least is one of the foundations of good storytelling, and that's my problem kind of with a lot of Eastern storytelling, and particularly a lot of Square Enix storytelling. They're really bad at that. They tell you everything. They lay out everything for you in dialogue. This character is the way that they are, and we are telling you that they're that way. They are telling you everything about the backstory. Really, they explain it in exhaustive detail. Characters go on for what feels like hours explaining what's happening, when really it could just be shown in a simple few seconds of really well-framed storytelling. Considering that Square Enix is so good at making movies, they love making the movie part of the game. They're really good visually, but the cinematography and the visual storytelling, it just seems so weak to me, and that kind of translates into the characters. I don't know, there's plenty of other things that I could find about it, but I'm just gonna kind of leave this one right here because I don't want to ramble on too long, because I don't want people to think that I hate Final Fantasy. They have their own very solid place in video game history, and it's not like they're bad games. I can't really say that they're horrible games. I enjoy them for what they are, but there are a lot of things about them that I don't like, and I would never put it among my favorite series. I like the games for what they brought to the table at the time, but it feels like they just haven't evolved enough. It feels like the franchise just hasn't quite evolved enough as game storytelling has evolved. So I'm gonna leave that one there. You tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with that? What are some things about that series that you enjoy and that you don't enjoy? I would really love to talk with more people about this. So tell me what you think, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you guys next time. The key when you're working with the Dremel is just taking it slow and being really patient. The foam sands down really easily, so you barely have to put any pressure on it, but that also means you have to be very careful and avoid taking too much off. I usually try to take this in one long strip at a time, and then I keep